Okay, since we're here and I was just talking about Mecartys a minute ago about splicing them, I grabbed a handful of these and I'll just kind of go over some of the things I like to look at when purchasing a Mecarty. I've got a lot of different ones. I've got old ones, new ones, some that friends of mine made. I no longer have one that I made. Some I've bought, some I've found, this and that. I just want to talk about picking a Mecarty because there's so many different things that I think some people maybe get a little confused about what they want. So I just grabbed just a random bunch of them and I've got them all tied together here. Do I need to hold these up or? Okay. I'm not going to untie them all, but this very first one, this one's mohair. It's made out of twisted mohair. So mohair, a lot of you probably have mohair cinches. Mohair is the hair off an Angora goat, and they twist it into yarn. It's kind of like wool, but quite a bit different. This particular one's mohair. This one's really, really old and really, really wore out. I've got some that are newer, but I don't know where they are. Mohair is good. It feels good. It's not all prickly. It's not all stingy. It lasts forever, much like horsehair does. Not quite as long as horsehair. It's pretty good. But just like horsehair, if it gets moist, it gets really, really stiff. Stiff, Brett. It gets really, really stiff, and more so, in my opinion, than horsehair. And if it gets moist at all, like so if you're in the Pacific Northwest or if your horse gets really sweaty, it gets stiff and the life just goes out of it and it feels like junk. And I really don't like them if they get moist at all. And they just don't have as much life to them. They don't have as much, they don't feel as good in your hand using them, in my opinion. So I kind of shy away from mohair. This was given to me by an old friend, so I have it and I still use it, but it's not my pick. I've got some others, I see it right there, but I'm not gonna bother with it. Once in a while you'll find some that are mohair and horsehair twisted together, and they'll feel really, really soft and they'll feel really, really good to you, and you think, man, this is the key. But if it's that mohair and horsehair cross, again, if it gets any moisture in it at all, it feels nasty, in my opinion. This next one down here, this is a horsehair one. I traded a real good friend of mine for this years ago, and he's not with us anymore, so it'll probably just hang on the wall for the rest of its life. I say that, but I'm not like that. I'll probably use it. But this one, if you take these Mecartys, and this is a real mushy feeling one, and most of the mushy feeling ones have a heart in them. And so if you'll take these and you just kind of untwist it a little bit, you'll see that there's a heart in there, which is just a three strands of, well, there's multiple strands, but they just took 3 cords of it and braided it. It's usually just in a regular old 3-strand braid like you ladies would do your hair. And then they twist the rest of the Mecarty around that. Mecartys with a core in them, or a heart as some people call them, they last a lot longer. They, to me, feel better. They're usually a lot softer and a lot mushier in your hands. They're not as hard of a twist, and I prefer them. And then back to the whole moisture issue, they don't get as odd feeling if they get some moisture in them. They still feel really good. This other one here, this is a smaller diameter, and I don't know if the camera can see, but when I kind of untwist it there, well, the camera can't see it, she says, but when I kind of untwist it to see, this one doesn't have a heart, doesn't have a core in it. This is just a 4-strand hard twist. It's not as mushy feeling. It's got a lot more substance to it in the feel of it in your hands. This is a 1/2 inch. I use it on a 1/2 inch Mecarty, or a 1/2 inch Hackamore. I like one on a 1/2 inch Hackamore to be a hard twist without a core, because I feel like my signal is a lot faster and a lot cleaner with a hard twist without a core in it. Whereas this 5/8 with a core on a heavier 5/8 Hackamore, it kind of slows that signal down a little bit, gives that horse a little better chance to figure out what's going on. While this one, by the time they've advanced that 1/2 inch, I feel like they ought to know how to stay between my reins. Oh, I was just talking about the 1/2 and 1/2s. This one's 1/2 and 1/2. This is half Mecarty, half horsehair.
Half one?
This is half mohair, half horsehair. It's all Mecarty. It's half mohair, half horsehair, and it's real raggy. It's real mushy feeling. I don't remember if it has a heart in it or not. Yes, it does, and the heart is mohair. So it tends to get nasty feeling if it gets wet at all. This one here, I talked earlier about a horse chewing on a Mecarty, and I just wrap it with black tape. That's what that ends up looking like. That black tape has been on there for probably 18 years, because it was Cinco's horse that chewed this son of a gun. This Mecarty was given to me by a friend of mine for my 19th or 20th birthday. It's also got a heart in it, and it's all horsehair. And these are all, a couple of them are mohair, but these are all mane hair. This one here is tail hair, and there's a mane hair and a tail hair together. I think you can see the difference. I will grant that the white one has been used a lot more, so all the little pricklers have been worn off, but the pricklers that are there are a lot softer, where these tail hair ones are a lot pricklier. Tail hair and mane hair are two entirely different things. They're made up of different stuff. I mean, it's hair, it's all kind of the same, but they're different. Mane hair is a lot softer, a lot more pliable. Tail hair is more like fishing wire. So why would you even have tail hair? Well, because tail hair is stiffer and pricklier, sometimes that's something I want for a horse that, maybe isn't as responsive. This pricklier, stiffer rope kind of gets a little more action out of my horse. They can feel it as well as I can feel it better. They can feel it better. You maybe get a little more oomph out of them. So sometimes you want this pricklier, stiffer tail hair. And then I probably have one, but I don't know where it is. You can get even pricklier and stiffer with cowtail hair. And there's a time and a place for it, but it really feels bad in your hands, and it'll really get a horse pretty ouchy. So if you have a horse that's pretty sensitive, you want to stay away from tail hair, and you definitely want to stay away from cowtail hair. I bring that up only to say that the vast majority of the Mecartys that you buy out of Mexico, or that you would buy from like National Roper Supply or some of these big corporations that supply tack, most of those Mecartys are going to come out of Mexico, and they're going to be tail hair and they're going to be cow hair, or a combination of the two. And they're not going to feel good to you, they're not going to feel good to your horse, and you're going to go, I can't stand hair Mecartys, and you're going to get one made out of paracord or something, which really feels even worse as far as I'm concerned. So just keep that in mind. If you're wanting a good mane hair one, then go with somebody in America that you can talk to and you know exactly where it's coming from, and you probably want to stay away. Most of you probably want to stay away from tail hair, and for sure stay away from cow hair. Like I said, I have my purposes for them, but you guys probably don't. So there's a little bit of a tutorial about Mecartys. I want to thank the subscribers of our Patreon channel. The patrons, that's Patron where I'm from, give us the opportunity to bring these videos to you all. Without them, this channel wouldn't be possible. Join us over on Patreon for more in-depth lessons and step-by-step instruction on everything from gear to theory, riding everything from colts to bridle horses, the circus pole, and husbandry. We'd love to see you all over there.